Michael is one of the most powerful and revered angels mentioned across the Holy Scriptures, a being whose presence symbolizes protection, strength, and unwavering obedience to God. From the earliest texts to modern interpretations, he is depicted as a warrior, a guardian, and a leader among the angels. His name itself means who is like God, which reflects not only his closeness to the divine, but also his role as a defender of God's will on earth and in the heavens. Unlike other angelic beings who primarily serve as messengers, Michael carries a weighty responsibility. He is a protector of humanity, a leader in spiritual battles, and a figure whose influence stretches across the spiritual and physical realms. The first mention of Michael appears in the Hebrew Bible, where he is described as a chief prince and protector of the people of Israel. In the book of Daniel, Michael is portrayed as a guardian angel who stands for the children of Israel during times of conflict and adversity. Daniel writes, "At that time, Michael, the great prince who protects your people, will arise." Daniel 12 verse 1. This passage highlights not only his authority, but also his dedication to defending those chosen by God. From this, it becomes clear that Michael is not simply a passive observer. He is an active participant in the divine order, ensuring that the forces of righteousness prevail over darkness. Throughout religious texts, Michael is often associated with spiritual warfare. He is depicted as leading the heavenly armies against the forces of evil, a role most vividly described in the book of Revelation. In Revelation 12 verses 7 to 8, it is written, "And there was war in heaven. Michael and his angels fought against the dragon, and the dragon fought and his angels, and prevailed not. Neither was their place found any more in heaven." This dramatic portrayal of Michael as a celestial general emphasizes his immense power and authority. Unlike ordinary angels who carry out specific missions, Michael engages directly in the struggle between good and evil, embodying divine justice in its most formidable form. But Michael is not only a warrior, he is also a guardian and protector. In many traditions, he is believed to watch over individuals and communities, intervening in moments of danger. Stories throughout history, from biblical times to modern accounts, describe instances where Michael's presence has been felt in miraculous ways. In some interpretations, he is seen as guiding lost souls, protecting them from spiritual harm, and offering strength in times of extreme adversity. His role as a protector reinforces the idea that angels, while majestic and powerful, are deeply involved in the lives of humans, ensuring that divine guidance and protection remain constant. The imagery associated with Michael often emphasizes his strength and authority. In artistic depictions, he is frequently shown as a warrior angel, wielding a sword or spear, sometimes standing over a defeated serpent or dragon, symbolizing the triumph of good over evil. This visual representation has influenced countless cultures, shaping the way angels, and particularly Michael, are imagined across generations. In some medieval Christian art, Michael is shown wearing armor, a sign not of aggression, but of readiness to defend and enforce divine will. These images convey a sense of both awe and reassurance, reminding believers of the constant presence of divine guardianship in their lives. Michael's influence is not limited to Christianity or Judaism. In Islamic tradition, Michael, known as Michael, is also one of the archangels, responsible for providing sustenance, managing the forces of nature, and protecting believers. The Quran describes him as one who nourishes creation and follows God's commands faithfully. While the details of his duties differ slightly, the core theme remains consistent. Michael is a figure of immense power, unwavering loyalty, and protection, bridging the divine and human worlds. His presence serves as a reminder of the unseen forces that watch over humanity and the ongoing struggle between light and darkness. Beyond his role as a warrior and protector, Michael is also deeply symbolic. His name, who is like God, is not just a rhetorical question, but a declaration of humility, obedience, and alignment with divine purpose. He embodies the ideal of service without question, demonstrating that true strength lies in dedication and faith. This symbolism resonates across religious traditions and has inspired countless writings, prayers, and reflections throughout history. Believers look to Michael not only for protection, but also as an example of unwavering devotion and courage. The stories and attributes of Michael invite reflection on the nature of angels and their relationship with humanity. Unlike human heroes, Michael's power is absolute, his mission clear, and his loyalty unshakable. Yet, despite this might, he is depicted as compassionate, guiding and defending those who cannot protect themselves. His dual nature as warrior and guardian challenges us to consider the balance between strength and mercy, authority and service. It is this complexity that makes Michael such a compelling figure, one who transcends time and religious boundaries, remaining relevant and inspiring even today. As we explore the history, stories, and mysteries surrounding Michael, it becomes evident that his presence is more than symbolic. He represents divine intervention, protection, and the ongoing struggle against evil forces that humanity has faced throughout history. The accounts of his deeds, both in scriptures and in the interpretations of scholars, reflect a being whose power is matched only by his devotion. Michael's story reminds us that the forces of light are always present, even in the most challenging times, and that divine guidance can take many forms, sometimes seen and sometimes invisible. Michael's role extends far beyond simple protection. He is a central figure in the complex hierarchy of angels, a being whose influence touches both heaven and earth. In the scriptures, angels are not all equal. They have ranks, responsibilities, and specific missions, and Michael consistently emerges as one of the highest-ranking archangels. Among the seraphim, cherubim, and other angelic orders, he is often described as a chief prince or commander, responsible for executing God's will with authority and precision. This hierarchy suggests not only order in the spiritual realm, but also a purpose that aligns divine power with human history. The Book of Daniel presents Michael as a guardian figure who intervenes at critical moments in history. He is described as standing for the children of Israel during times of persecution and threat, shielding them from forces beyond human control. This depiction implies that Michael's involvement is not passive. He actively shapes the outcomes of events, often invisible to those who experience them. The idea that angels can influence historical events raises questions about the unseen forces guiding humanity and the ways in which divine justice is implemented. Michael is also closely associated with spiritual warfare. Across the religious texts, he is portrayed as a warrior leading armies of angels against the forces of darkness. In Revelation, his battle against the dragon symbolizes not only cosmic conflict, but also the struggle within every human soul between good and evil. The imagery is dramatic. A mighty angel, wings outstretched, standing firm against chaos. His sword is a symbol of divine authority and judgment. Such depictions reinforce the belief that Michael is both protector and enforcer, ensuring that God's order is maintained even in the face of rebellion and sin. Ancient writings, including texts not included in the canonical Bible, provide even more insight into Michael's influence. The Book of Enoch, for example, describes angels who fell from grace and disrupted the natural order. Michael is presented as a figure of authority, tasked with ensuring that these disobedient angels are restrained. He functions as a divine judge, one who balances justice with mercy, acting as an intermediary between the Creator and beings who challenge divine law. These accounts deepen the sense of Michael's responsibility and illustrate the complex moral and spiritual landscape in which he operates. In addition to his role as a warrior and judge, Michael is seen as a guide for humanity. Many religious traditions describe him providing protection and direction at critical moments, guiding people towards safety and enlightenment. Stories of miraculous interventions, from biblical times to modern accounts, often credit Michael with appearing to individuals in moments of extreme danger. In some interpretations, he is the unseen hand that prevents disaster, offering hope and strength when all seems lost. This duality, being both a celestial warrior and a guardian, is central to understanding Michael's enduring significance. The symbolism surrounding Michael also emphasizes his power and authority. He is frequently depicted in art and literature with a sword or spear, standing over a defeated serpent or dragon. This imagery represents the triumph of good over evil and serves as a reminder of the ongoing battle between light and darkness. In medieval Christian art, Michael's armor signifies readiness and vigilance, not aggression, emphasizing the protective and authoritative aspects of his role. Across cultures and centuries, these symbols have helped shape humanity's perception of Michael as a powerful yet benevolent figure, an angel whose presence is both awe-inspiring and reassuring. Islamic tradition offers additional perspective on Michael, known as Michael. In Islam, he is one of the archangels responsible for delivering sustenance and managing natural forces, highlighting a role that combines care for creation with divine authority. The Quran describes him as a faithful servant of God, performing duties with precision and devotion. His responsibilities include providing nourishment, overseeing natural events, and protecting believers. These descriptions align closely with the biblical portrayal, reinforcing the idea that Michael's influence is universal, extending across different religions and cultures while maintaining a consistent essence. He is a guardian and enforcer of divine will. Michael's presence in religious texts is often associated with moral and spiritual lessons. His actions remind humanity of the importance of obedience, faith, and courage. By standing firm against rebellion and guiding those in need, he embodies the qualities that humans are encouraged to emulate: steadfastness, righteousness, and trust in divine guidance. This symbolic dimension adds depth to his role, suggesting that Michael is not only a protector of humans, but also a teacher, showing through example how to navigate moral and spiritual challenges. The mysteries surrounding Michael continue to captivate scholars, theologians, and believers. His appearances, often dramatic and awe-inspiring, raise questions about the nature of angelic beings and their interaction with the material world. Are these stories literal events, spiritual allegories, or a combination of both? The consistency of accounts across time and cultures suggests that Michael is more than a symbolic figure. He represents forces that humanity perceives as real, active, and protective. This enduring fascination demonstrates the unique position Michael holds within religious imagination, a figure who bridges the gap between divine authority and human experience. Michael's story in this chapter reminds us that angels are not passive observers. They are active participants in the ongoing narrative of humanity, executing judgment, providing guidance, and shaping events in ways that are often invisible but profoundly impactful. His presence challenges us to consider the unseen dimensions of life, the forces that influence history, and the spiritual realities that lie beyond ordinary perception. In understanding Michael, we gain insight not only into the angel himself, but also into the broader spiritual framework that defines human existence and the eternal struggle between good and evil. Michael's connection with humanity is perhaps the most compelling aspect of his story. Unlike many celestial beings who remain distant, Michael is actively involved in the affairs of people, guiding, protecting, and intervening at moments of great need. From the earliest biblical accounts to later religious interpretations, he is portrayed not only as a warrior or judge, but as a guardian who walks the line between the divine and human worlds. His presence reminds believers that even in times of chaos or uncertainty, there is a force watching over them, ensuring that the plans of God continue to unfold. In the book of Daniel, Michael is described as standing watch over Israel during periods of adversity, a protector who intervenes when human efforts alone are insufficient. At that time Michael shall stand up, the great prince which standeth for the children of thy people. Daniel 12 verse 1. These words emphasize not just his authority, but also his closeness to those he protects. Michael is a figure of reassurance in a turbulent world, representing the possibility of divine aid when events seem beyond control. His involvement is both active and precise. He does not act randomly, but follows divine instruction, ensuring that justice and protection are delivered exactly where they are needed. Stories from Scripture often depict Michael appearing at pivotal moments in human history. In the book of Revelation, he leads the heavenly forces against the dragon, symbolizing the ultimate victory of good over evil. This narrative highlights the cosmic scale of his duties, showing that Michael's interventions are not confined to individual lives, but can influence the outcome of larger spiritual battles. The imagery is vivid: wings outstretched, sword in hand, standing firm against chaos. This vision has inspired countless interpretations, reinforcing the perception of Michael as both a warrior and a protector, a being whose power and authority are undeniable. Beyond these dramatic confrontations, Michael's influence often appears in subtler, mysterious ways. Religious scholars and mystics have long suggested that he guides souls, protects the innocent, and intervenes in unseen ways that humans may never fully comprehend. Some traditions describe instances in which individuals were saved from danger by forces they could not see or explain, with Michael credited as the invisible guardian. These stories reflect a broader understanding of angels as active participants in the human experience, bridging the gap between mortal vulnerability and divine power. The symbolism surrounding Michael in these encounters is significant. He is often portrayed wielding a sword or spear, standing over the defeated forces of evil, yet always with an aura of righteousness and divine purpose. These images are not merely artistic. They are meant to convey his moral authority and the certainty of divine justice. Throughout history, people have looked to Michael as a protector during crises, drawing comfort from the belief that a powerful, benevolent force is working on their behalf, even if they cannot perceive it directly. Michael is also closely tied to the concept of judgment. In various biblical texts, he is depicted as an enforcer of divine law, tasked with ensuring that justice is delivered and that wrongdoing is met with appropriate consequence. This dual role of protector and judge highlights a delicate balance. Michael must act decisively to uphold divine order while also safeguarding the innocent. His judgments are never arbitrary. They reflect the wisdom and authority of God, reinforcing his role as a central figure in the spiritual hierarchy. One of the most intriguing aspects of Michael's story is the recurring theme of mystery. Despite being mentioned repeatedly in the Bible and other sacred texts, much about his nature and actions remains enigmatic. Why does he appear at certain times and not others? How are his interventions chosen? And what determines when he acts directly in human affairs? These questions have fascinated scholars, theologians, and believers for centuries. The answers may never be fully known, but the consistency of his presence across multiple texts and traditions suggests that his influence is both real and purposeful. Islamic tradition reinforces this view, describing Michael as a provider and protector, responsible for the sustenance of creation and for the well-being of believers. While the details differ slightly from the biblical narrative, the core principle remains the same. Michael is a guardian, a being whose actions are guided by divine will, and whose influence is both vast and precise. Across cultures and faiths, his role illustrates a profound truth. Spiritual forces exist in ways that transcend human understanding, yet their presence can be felt through protection, guidance, and intervention. Michael's interactions with humanity are not limited to miraculous events or dramatic battles. He also represents moral guidance, inspiring humans to act with courage, righteousness, and faith. His example teaches that strength is not merely physical or spiritual power, but the ability to remain steadfast in service to a higher purpose. By observing Michael's unwavering dedication, believers are reminded that divine principles are not abstract concepts, but living realities that shape history, influence choices, and protect the innocent. Throughout these narratives, a common theme emerges. Michael embodies the dual nature of angels as both formidable agents of divine will and compassionate guardians of humanity. He bridges the spiritual and earthly realms, acting as a mediator, protector, and warrior simultaneously. His presence reassures humanity that even amidst trials, divine oversight persists, guiding events in ways that may remain invisible, but are always purposeful. In reflecting on Michael's interactions with humans, it becomes clear that he is more than a symbol or story. He represents the active presence of divine protection and judgment, a reminder that the spiritual and material worlds are intertwined. His deeds, recorded in Scripture and interpreted through tradition, emphasize that humanity is never truly alone, that forces of light and justice continue to operate even in moments of uncertainty. Michael's story challenges us to recognize the unseen, to understand that protection, guidance, and divine intervention often work quietly behind the scenes, shaping the course of history and individual lives alike. Michael's story reaches its culmination in the understanding that he is not merely a figure of myth or legend, but a living symbol of divine protection, justice, and guidance. Across centuries, in every culture and religious tradition that recognizes him, Michael has been portrayed as a guardian whose influence shapes both the heavens and the world of humans. His role as protector, warrior, and judge demonstrates the depth of angelic involvement in the unfolding of history, reminding us that the forces of light are constant and vigilant, even when unseen. In the scriptures, Michael's presence is always associated with critical moments of challenge or transformation. From standing for the children of Israel in the book of Daniel to leading the heavenly armies in Revelation, he is depicted as a figure whose actions determine the outcome of spiritual and earthly events. These stories emphasize that Michael is not passive. He acts decisively, ensuring that divine justice prevails. His interventions are precise and purposeful, reflecting his unwavering loyalty to God and his commitment to maintaining the balance between good and evil. But Michael's significance extends beyond his direct actions. He is a symbol of moral and spiritual strength, inspiring believers to emulate his virtues, courage, dedication, and righteousness. By observing Michael's unwavering service to God, humanity gains a model for living with integrity and faith, even in the face of uncertainty. His presence encourages reflection on the nature of obedience, the importance of protecting the innocent, and the responsibility to act when confronted with wrongdoing. Michael teaches that true strength lies not in power alone, but in the combination of authority, compassion, and purpose. Throughout religious traditions, Michael's influence remains consistent. In Christianity, he is a chief archangel, a defender of the faithful, and a leader in the ongoing spiritual struggle against evil. In Judaism, he is the great prince who protects God's people, intervening at moments of critical importance. In Islam, Michael provides sustenance, oversees natural forces, and safeguards believers. Despite differences in cultural context or interpretation, the central message is the same. Michael embodies protection, guidance, and divine order. His story transcends boundaries, speaking to the universal human desire for security, justice, and connection with the divine. The mysteries surrounding Michael continue to fascinate and inspire. While the scriptures describe his actions, much about his nature remains beyond human comprehension. Why does he intervene at some times and not others? How do his decisions align with divine will? Scholars and theologians have long debated these questions, but perhaps the very mystery of Michael is part of his purpose. He represents the unseen forces that guide humanity, reminding us that not all truth can be perceived directly, and that faith often requires trust in what cannot be seen. Even in modern times, stories of angelic encounters are reported by believers and observers alike. People describe experiences of guidance, protection, or miraculous interventions, often attributing them to Michael. These accounts, while impossible to verify fully, resonate because they echo the themes found in Scripture: the constant presence of divine guardianship, the intervention of powerful forces at critical moments, and the assurance that righteousness ultimately prevails. Whether literal or symbolic, these narratives continue to shape the way humanity perceives spiritual reality. Michael also embodies the concept of balance. He is a warrior, yet compassionate, a judge, yet merciful, a protector, yet a figure of awe and authority. This duality captures the essence of angelic service, immense power tempered by responsibility and purpose. Through Michael, humans are reminded that divine authority is exercised with wisdom, that protection does not eliminate the necessity of faith, and that justice is both firm and fair. His life, as described in Scripture, provides a framework for understanding how the spiritual and material worlds are interconnected, and how divine oversight manifests in ways that influence both history and personal experience. Reflecting on Michael's story invites us to consider the broader spiritual framework in which humans exist. Angels like Michael are not passive bystanders. They are active participants in the unfolding narrative of creation, serving as messengers, protectors, and enforcers of divine law. Their existence suggests that life is more than what can be observed with the eyes alone. There are forces at work, unseen yet powerful, shaping events, guiding individuals, and ensuring that divine justice is upheld. Michael's presence reminds us that even when circumstances appear chaotic, order and protection are maintained by forces beyond human understanding. Ultimately, Michael's legacy is both spiritual and moral. he teaches humanity about courage, obedience, and the importance of serving a higher purpose. His story emphasizes that divine protection is always present, that justice will prevail, and that even in moments of fear or uncertainty, there are guardians watching over the world. Michael represents hope, strength, and the enduring power of faith, inspiring believers to live with integrity, courage, and trust in the divine plan. As we conclude this exploration of Michael, it becomes clear that his story is not just about an angel in distant scripture. It is about the principles he embodies and the lessons he imparts. Protection, justice, guidance, and unwavering dedication are qualities that transcend religion, culture, and time. Michael's presence in the heavens and in human understanding serves as a reminder that the spiritual and material realms are intertwined, and that the forces of light continue to operate even in ways that remain unseen. In understanding Michael, we are reminded that humanity is never truly alone. There is a guardian who watches over, a warrior who protects, and a guide who intervenes with precision and purpose. His story is a testament to the enduring presence of divine justice and protection, a symbol of hope that transcends centuries and cultures. Michael remains a figure of immense power, unwavering loyalty, and profound significance, a celestial being whose legacy continues to inspire, guide, and protect humanity in ways that words can only begin to describe.